What's going on, everybody? I'm back. I did a surprise video. Um, this is the problem I have with the media and with former players. I'm all over the place. This is the thing I have a problem with. If you guys don't like Kobe, just say you don't like Kobe. Because I'm finding it very hard to understand what is the backlash on Kobe Bryant. Like, why does everybody have a problem with Kobe? Like, he was the first player to talk bad about teammates. Like, he was the first player to berate teammates and get them ready for the game. It's like, I don't understand it. If you guys hate Kobe Bryant, then just say you hate Kobe Bryant. To say he's a 12 or 15 top player or 11 is just disrespectful. This guy did something that we haven't seen since Wilt Chamberlain. If you got Wilt in your top 5 or your top 10, why don't you have Kobe in your top 10 or top 5? He dropped 81 points. We haven't seen a barrage of scoring like that since Wilt Chamberlain. Michael was a great scorer, but there was guys who could score just like Mike, if not better. Mike just made it look better. He was athletic. He was more athletic than a lot of guys. So I'm trying to figure out what's all this hate towards Kobe Bryant. You guys continuously hate on a man who went out there and played as tough as anybody that ever played in the game. A guy who's a student of the game, a guy who talked to players on the regular to learn things. He wanted to always learn. And you guys ridicule that. But you guys will praise a guy who's been given everything, who's been helped to get to the finals 8 or 9 straight times, who has been mediocre when he's had the power to pick whoever's on his team. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I just don't get it at all. And the person I'm talking about is Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith is basically an overglorified role player. People take what he says as always factual. They take what he says as it holds weight. I don't listen to what Kenny says because Kenny was a role player. Just like Kendrick Perkins. Just like who else was out there playing? Richard Jefferson. I don't listen to those guys. They're role players. They played a specific role. Kenny Smith had his job taken by Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell outshined him, and he was a rookie. Vernon Maxwell played better D than he did. Kenny Smith is a guy who got in where he fit in. And I'm not hating on him. I like Kenny Smith as a player. But Kenny Smith is an overglorified role player like Scottie Pippen was, like a lot of these guys were. You're going to put LeBron over Kobe. That's what I'm trying to ask people. How do you put LeBron over Kobe when Kobe played in a conference his whole career that was stacked, that was tough to beat. It wasn't easy to win in those conferences. It wasn't easy to go to those championships. Kobe went through greatness as well as failure. That's why I like him more than Michael Jordan, because Kobe failed and he came back to show that I could win. Now, after that sixth championship, if Mike would have came back and they would have won again through all of that controversy, and then he would have still played, then I would have been like, cool. Mike won his championships because there was nobody at that time who was mentally as tough as him or as strong as him. There wasn't. Magic was gone because of the HIV. Bird had a bad back from trying to build his mom's driveway. Isaiah Thomas developed carpal tunnel in his wrist where he couldn't shoot like he used to. And then he had a knee injury. So the league was given to Mike to take over. And Mike, he took it and ran with it. Mike is a great player. Mike is phenomenal. But what you guys have to understand, y'all hate on Kobe because Kobe was a kid who looked up to a guy, wanted to be that guy, and wanted to do everything he could to surpass him. And as he got older, he was like, I don't even care about surpassing him. I just want to win. And this is the message that you're sending. Listen, if you like LeBron James, that's fine. I don't care if you like LeBron James. If you love him, if you care about him, cool. LeBron James to me is a mediocre player and an overglorified superstar. He's a role player. He plays his role by getting his stats. He makes his stats look good. When he makes his stats look good, when he makes his stats look good, he can do no wrong. He could do no wrong at all. So what is the hate for Kobe Bryant? Charles Barkley and Shaq had to come out. A guy who despised Kobe Bryant. Shaq had to come out and ask y'all, why isn't he in the GOAT conversation? How do you skip Kobe Bryant to go to LeBron James versus Jordan? It's disrespectful. It's just like you media people who made Jordan the best, but you had guys like Wilt, Bill Russell, and Wilt was doing this during his career when he was done playing basketball. He used to ask, how is Mike the GOAT? Mike never, and he said, Mike, how's he the GOAT? What's the standard? Oh, well, he has this many rings, and Wilt was like, my best friend got more rings than him. He got 11. So what makes Mike the GOAT? Because he has 6 finals MVPs. Those MVPs, just because you get an accolade and an award, doesn't make you a great basketball player. Basketball is an art form. It's a form where people used to watch and be in awe of because of how players would be positioned, how they pass the ball and move the ball around. And this is the problem that I have with guys like Kenny Smith. You feed into the narrative of the trolls and the haters and the people who don't know basketball who want to talk about basketball because of stats. Listen, stats were made to talk about that certain player, to help a person who doesn't understand the game follow the game. Stats are really bull crap. Because if you look at the field goal percentage, right? Let's look at the field goal percentage. I'm finna pull up my phone right now. We're gonna look at the field goal percentage. Now, field goal percentage. I'm looking at Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain was 54%. 54%. All right. Now, I looked at another player. His is 52%, which is Bill Walton for his career. Now, let me go to another player. I'm looking at another player. His percentage was 44%. And guess who that was? That was Bill Russell, 44%. He's a center, though. Right? Now, I'm finna go to this another guy. Look at his field goal percentage. His field goal percentage was 56%, which was Kareem. Right? This other guy field goal percentage I looked at is 50%. That's Michael Jordan's. So you guys want to bring up field goal percentage, right? Michael is at a 49.7 field goal percentage. Kareem's at a 55. Wilt was at like a 52 or 53. Bill Walton, I believe, was at a 52. Bill Russell was at a 44. So that's what I'm saying. There's no such thing as a GOAT. There's no such thing. Kobe Bryant is at 44 or 45. Let me see. Kobe, I think, was at 46 because he took a lot of threes. But if you take away Kobe's three pointers, if you took away his three pointers and just measured them by his mid range or his inside the paint, Kobe would be at 50%, just like Mike. That's the truth. He's at 45% for the field goal percentage. So that's what I'm saying. You got Shaq up there in your top 10. Why didn't Kenny Smith say Hakeem Olajuwon? Huh? Why wouldn't Hakeem Olajuwon be his number one pick? Because this is agenda based. He's doing this because somebody told him to do it. Oh, put LeBron in your top 10 and make it controversial. You cannot trust these role players or these people who are giving you information because it's agenda based. They're not doing this all for the love of the game. They don't even know the game. Jalen Rose explained it specifically when he murdered Skip Bayless on First Take. It's different styles. The positions was made for a novice to follow the game. Just because you're a center don't mean that you have to average 15 or 20 rebounds. You could average 5 or 6, but you could score about 20 or 30 points. Just because you're a point guard don't mean that you have to have 15 to 20 assists or 10 to 12. You could be scoring 28 or 30 and just have 5 or 6 assists. You have some that do 28 and 10. So that's what I'm saying. You idiot fans keep arguing over stupidity. LeBron James, I rate my top 5 and 10 off of skill. Off of skill. LeBron James ain't even in the top 20. His skill level is very putrid. He's playing in a game where they've softened the rules up and they allow you to do whatever you want to do on offense. You people are blind because you people are novice. Y'all are not real basketball experts. And don't question my basketball intelligence or my sources because I have a bachelor's in broadcast journalism. I went through the classes, I did news reports, I wrote stories as well as be an anchor, as well as be a cameraman. So I know how the system is ran. I look up my information, I watch film. You know why you people hate Kobe? It's because the media told you to hate Kobe. It's a learned behavior. And the learned behavior is you guys hate Kobe and want to rate him so low because you have to keep this Michael Jordan thing alive. As he's the greatest. He had 6 finals MVP. He went 6-0. Yeah, he did that. But that doesn't measure if you're great. Iverson played on a bum team for like 5 to 8 years. But we're going to say Scottie Pippen is better than him because he won 6? You guys, y'all not thinking. Y'all not thinking at all. Kenny Smith is wrong. You put LeBron in your top 10 and Shaq in your top 10 over Kobe, a guy who work ethic was second to none, who never took a game off, who never slacked off on any side of the ball. He played his heart out. But it's the agenda to make him look like he ain't it, to make this guy look good. Have you noticed? I want to ask y'all LeBron fans a question. Have you noticed every time they compare LeBron to somebody, they're tearing the other person down? Because remember that run? I believe it's the year when Kyrie left. The year before he went to the championship again. Kyrie left. When LeBron won a game, they compared him to Michael Jordan. But when he lost the game, they showed you how he was better than Kobe. All of this stuff is a learned behavior. You're subconsciously getting screwed, which means that you're going to hate on whoever the media tells you to hate on. You guys hate on Cam Newton in football, calling him Fig Newton, saying he's soft. But it's like, what top 5 or 10 receiver has he ever had? He's taken the worst talent and made them better. You guys don't even know what making somebody better is. Y'all look at the stats. The stats are nothing. Bill Gates said it best. I can make stats, I can make numbers make somebody look great, or I can make them look bad. And that's what the media is doing. Kobe is a top 5, if not the greatest player to ever play the game. And if he's in the top 10, he's number 6 or 7. He's not below that. Kobe is better than all those guys from the past and the present. Lie boy.